Hi, so I want to talk about this video that it just went viral on TikTok. I'm going to contextualize it. This is this girl, well, she's my age. I'm 27, she's 27, and she's like, this is my first boyfriend, and, you know, oh, by the way, cultural context, she's Mormon, so if you're not from the United States and you don't know what that is, I really don't know. All I know about it is from, like, very surface level, but basically Mormonism is like a religion. It's really popular in Utah, which is a state. Premarital sex is like a sin, so that's why a lot of people get married really young, because, you know, so she's like first boyfriend. Okay, so here's the thing, there's really a social connotation of when you're supposed to have a boyfriend, when you're supposed to get married. It honestly doesn't matter. Here's a great piece of advice for everyone that I always apply, is that it's a saying in Spanish, so I'm going to try to translate to English, but basically it's like, that person doesn't feed you, like literally feed you. They don't feed you. So you know what I mean? Their opinion doesn't matter. There's not an indicator of success of your life. You're not like, okay, by 30 you're supposed to be married, you're supposed to have kids, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and these indicators don't mean anything. Basically what I'm trying to say is, everything's made up. Everything is made up. There is no, like, just because you got married by 30, it doesn't really do anything to your life. You don't get an award, you don't get a prize, you don't get like $1 million. And the flip coin is, if you don't get married, like, you don't, like, it means nothing. It's nothing, you know. Marriage, a partner, it can feel isolating. I'm not trying to take away from that. You know, I think women feel more comfortable talking about it online than men do. So I just see more women talking about it, that they're like in their 30s and their 40s and they haven't had a boyfriend, or they haven't, you know, they've only had one boyfriend, and it feels isolating, because it does. You know, you see romance everywhere in movies and shows and in real life, and then you're just thinking, okay, what's my issue, what's my problem? And that is a legitimate conversation to have. I'm not gonna be the one to have it. I'm just here to talk about this because it was wild, and I want to show it to you and for you to react and for you to be like, hold up. And here's the thing, my issue isn't, because she's 27, right? And so she got her first boyfriend in like February, and she married him 3 months in. Wild. Now that is not my problem. If you are 27 and you're like, okay, you know what, this is my first boyfriend, I'm gonna marry that man. Divorce is the thing. Okay, I don't really know how Mormons and divorce go, but in reality, in any situation, and blah, 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 divorce is a real thing. And I'm personally on team, get a divorce. And I'm personally on the team of, I don't care how many divorces you have. If you have 5 divorces, get 5 divorces. You know? If you have the money to get divorces over and over and over and over, then do it. Life is too short. Get the divorce. My situation and my problem is, you'll see where this turns into a situation where you're like, okay, so let's just watch it together. I just go from it. Here's an update. Oh, here's an update.
27 years old and I have a boyfriend for the first time.
If this video made you upset,
Bottle up. What is with this audio quality?
more details and I got more. Let's start with the most shocking news to everyone probably, is the day I got married, I became a mom too.
Done. Are you reacting with me? Again, if she was just, you know, met a man and she was like, or anyone, and she was like, you know what, I want to marry them. Okay, children? You're bringing kids into the equation? Kids? Children, living, breathing, I don't know why, living, breathing, sentient humans. I think people don't understand. I think people forget that children, or I don't know, I think they're kids, like small kids, because I saw a rumor on TikTok that he got divorced, that he had the kids in 2018, one of the kids, because I think they're 2, or I don't know how many they are, but one of them, 2018, so that's a 6-year-old. Those are tiny children. I think people forget that those tiny children turn into teenagers, that turn into adults, that you will have to navigate this really weird, because you're not their mom, okay, you're their stepmom, and there's this real navigation of, okay, you have to have an honest conversation with your husband and be like, do I discipline them? How do I discipline them? How do the kids react to me? Are they gonna be like, you know, because I remember Do We Know Them podcast, Jessie Smiles, she talks about how she had, you know, she has a stepfather who, since she was, you know, very young child, and her mom made it very clear, like, there's boundaries that you are just like, you're not going to punish. And what I mean by punish, I mean like ground or like discipline my kids. That's my role because I'm their mom and you're a step parent. And that's how it worked for them. But I'm like, how is like that insanity? Let's keep going.
Mom to two of the sweetest angel kids on the planet. I got to celebrate Mother's Day for the first time this year, which was
Mother's Day. I'm just thinking about the other woman, the actual mom, the woman who was the first wife, who is the mom of these kids, like the actual mom, who imagine this, right? Imagine you get married, right? And I don't know who's watching this. I don't know if you would be the mom of the down situation, but just it doesn't really matter, right? You get married, you have kids, and then you get divorced. You know, stuff happens, life happens, and then your partner finds someone else, and then 3 months later they get married, and you're like, whoa, and then they present your kids, right, to this person, and then on Mother's Day they celebrate, or Father's Day, they celebrate the new part. What? I've seen parents like in the comments being like, if I like they have a kid, I would wait at least a year to present them my partner, because again, this is your kid. A kid needs a stable, I mean obviously they're married, so I guess stabled, but a kid needs a stable environment. And if you are in a partnership with someone, why is it making it sound like a business? If you go into a relationship with someone and you don't know if it's 100%, do not present them to your kid, because then your kid's gonna be like, what's going on, where are they? And you're gonna, kids are like, they're like Play-Doh, right? Any little thing and you can mess them up for life. And here's the thing, the mom isn't, she's alive. I would lose my mind if I was like married to someone, had kids with someone, got divorced, and then 3 months later they're married to another woman, and then the woman is like, Happy Mother's Day. And it gets worse. Hold on.
And the original plan was to actually get married in March, not April. But there were some things that delayed stuff. And all the comments that were like, he just wants to put a baby in you. Listen, we do plan on having kids, but we just want to be a happy little family of 4 for a while.
Okay, so there are 2 kids. Here's the thing. Here is my, it's gonna sound not mean to her. This is my realistic interpretation that I don't remember if you guys remember. There's this Reddit story. Was it a Reddit story? No. It was a TikTok. Oh my god, that was insane. That was insane. This woman comes on TikTok and talks about like, this is my daughter in, oh god, I hate that I don't remember it specifically how it was, but basically people thought like, this woman is a surrogate, this woman must be the surrogate for her child, because the way she was talking about it was like, that is my angel in her belly, and people were like, that is I guess it come to everyone to be revealed that she was a second wife, because the first wife died in labor. She died in labor, and this man had a newborn and was like, oh shit, I don't know how to take care of a newborn, I don't want to do this by myself. So he married the nanny or something. Like, she was like a nanny or like a close personal friend of the wife. Like, that in itself is insane. And if I hope that the mom, wherever she is, I hope she like rips off their blanket in the middle of the night. I hope she haunts them, because the way that she talks, that like, this woman blessed me with a daughter. She died tragically. And for you to oh my god, that made everyone angry. I remember it and I get pissed off. Anyways, back to this. In this situation, even though the mom is still alive, because she's not talking about he's a widower or anything, so she's still alive, but I'm gonna be honest, some people, some parents don't want to be a parent. They just want to be like, they want to have the status of being a parent, but they don't really want to put the work in the parent. They don't want to put the work in to be a parent. And in this situation, it really comes off like he's like, ah shit, I just, got divorced. I have 2 kids who at least are under the age of 6, and I don't really want to do this. Maybe I need to help her instead of hiring a nanny, which makes, is money. Let's just get married, and then I have a built-in nanny forever. Maybe I'm too pessimistic, but okay, let's keep going.
Not only did we officially get married after 4 months of knowing each other, almost exactly, it's a little bit less, we decided to get married in February. He just didn't give me a ring until March. Oh my goodness, that's
A
so much
month?
better.
A month in? So she says in January that she doesn't have a boyfriend. And then in February she has a boyfriend. And then in February, I guess the end of February, they're like, yeah, we're getting married. This woman that I just met for life. Okay, next video.
So I got
This is
married
the-
to a guy I
this
met
is
a few months
unhinged.
ago. You've probably seen at least one video about it because a lot of people are not happy about it for whatever reason. But some people are wanting a ring tour, so I would love to give that to you. We'll start off with the engagement ring. It is a 2-carat moist.
Here's the thing, I have nothing against the ring, like the design or whatever. I think rings are very to the person, to whoever is receiving them, to their specific, you know, some people are very open, like I want a ring that's like oval. I don't really know anything about rings, so I don't, this is not what that is. Just
Want the price tag behind it, but also the worry of having something that expensive on my hand. This wasn't $1, but it wasn't like diamond price with this size. And then the wedding band, the actual wedding band with all these little gems, those are also moissanite. Are the rings on the top and the bottom. This was my husband's idea. I'm not gonna show you the whole thing, but on these rings are engraved the kids' names. So the bottom has one and the top has the other. Again, that was his idea 100%. And then when he proposed with the engagement ring, and then afterwards the kids came up and gave me their rings. And I know in the video that I posted of the actual engagement, I said I didn't cry. I did not cry when he proposed. I did cry when they gave me their rings though. Then I cry every time I think about it. I love my little family so much. And I love my rings so much. I'm so glad I don't have to worry about not filming with them anymore. Oh my god.
this man is a villain. This man is a villain. How? My thing isn't even with her, because she's in love and she's like, you know, I've seen people say that it's her canon event. I don't know, but let's focus on the other person and the villain, the actual dad, the actual parent who has the responsibility of taking care of their kids. And you know, you're telling me they know each other for 3 months. He was like, I'm gonna get a ring engraved with my kids' names on them, even though how much do you know a child that you've met 3 months? And not even 3 months, because I doubt the first date he was like, here's my kids. He was probably like, hopefully a month in, he's like, here's my kids. Again, how? He's a villain. And then he proposes and he brings, and now let's watch the last video. Wait, no, it's not the last video. The villain.
Okay, this is how I met my amazing and adorable husband. Look how cute he is. And kind of our little story. So we met on Hinge, which I know is not everyone's favorite answer. And especially right now, like everyone's really mad at Hinge because I might leave that for now. I don't know, maybe he'll let me post what he said later, but I haven't talked about it, so we'll just say he was literally the sweetest. And he asked me out pretty fast. He asked if I wanted to do a couple different things, and I ended up choosing an arcade, which I'm so glad. We went on a first date, obviously. Married him. But I would not recommend arcades for a first date unless you already know the person really well. Especially if you're a more like this. We got to talk after. We got some ice cream at the gas station next door and talked for a really, really long time, and it was a great time. He knew that I play guitar, so he 3D printed guitar picks with my initials and with pictures of me on. And if the thoughtful...
Okay, this is a genuine question for everyone watching this, because I don't know how to feel about this. This is the first date. This is the first time you're meeting someone, right? And would you 3D print them? Like, here's the thing. If it was just 3D printed, the little thingies, little guitar picks with her name, I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I'm like, okay, cool. But with the pictures of her, isn't that, I don't know. Maybe I'm too blinded. Maybe I am too blinded because I already think he's a villain. So anything that he does, I'm like, villain behavior. So tell me, do you think this is a villain behavior? Do you think this is too much for a first date? Right? I feel like if it was just like the guitar picks with like her initial, then I think that'd be cool. But I don't know, adding the picture of her, maybe if it was like for the 3rd or 4th date, but the first date, I feel like, I don't know, I'm clouded.
And the creativeness behind that doesn't sum up my husband. I don't know what does. For our second date, we played this card game right here. If you're going out on dates and trying to meet, or just trying to meet new people in general, and get to know people. I highly recommend getting this game. They have
She just went
couples
like this
version,
and
they just have
nothing
a
came
friends
out.
version, all the things. We went and got cheesecake and I think chocolate milk or something decent actually, and just had a great time. Our third day we went bowling with some of his married friends, which again I always recommend if you can.
If I was his married friend, like if I was friends with a man, and he introduces me to his date, 3 dates in, right? I'd be like, what is going on? Not her, anything, but I'd be like, what is this? What? Is that normal?
Know someone, meet their friends as fast as possible because that's when you get to see the real them. For our fourth date, we watched Spider-Man No Way Home, which is...
I think that's horrible advice. Horrible advice. Because just because he's with his friends doesn't mean he's going to show you his real self. And I feel, even though I'm using he, because in this situation it's him, it's going to apply to anyone, okay? Any gender. Your friends, hopefully, will show you the best side of you, right? Unless you're a shitty person and unless your friends are a shitty person and then you're like, oh my god, this is a shitty person. But normally, I feel like your friends are always on their best behavior for the first time they're meeting your partner, right? I don't...
Chip is the best. We'll do a little card dessert date. And that night is the night we became official. And then the next day, I went over to his house, and literally from that day on, I saw him every single day. And there hasn't been a day since our 5th date where I haven't seen him every single day. I've been the happiest girl every day.
Did she, the way that she explains it makes it seem like he never came to visit her. Now, it makes sense. He has kids who seem to be little. Is she the only one who's driving these 30 minutes all the time? Back and forth? My gripe isn't even with her. Because again, do you... Kind of weird. Oh my god, I didn't even record. I just remembered and it was unhinged. She referred to her, the mom, the very much alive mom, as the bio mom. I've only heard people reference bio moms when it's like an adoption situation or like a surrogate situation. Never when a marriage, divorce, like I've always heard mom and then stepmom, not mom, not bio mom and mom. Like imagine you are the mom in the situation, that your husband divorced and you and your husband divorce. He marries someone else and you're like, oh my god. And then that woman is online saying, oh yeah, I'm, the bio mom. I'm the mom. Fly on the wall of this woman, the bio mom. She must be, there's no way that she's okay with this. There's no way where she's like, yes, this is perfectly fine. There is no, I need to hear how she's talking with her friends. I need to know, she's talking to alerts. It's insane. And the fact that, again, the man is the villain. Because, how... I feel like if you genuinely fall in love with a woman, right? And you have kids and you're like, oh, I want to get married with her 3 months in. I feel like you would need to know how to put boundaries on that, to be like, yeah, no, this is the woman, this is the mother of my kids, regardless of that we're divorced, regardless if we're not in love anymore. The woman, the mother, I said the woman of my kids, the mother of my kids, right? You are the stepmother. And I don't know if she's how do you say that in English? If she's thought that far in the future of what she'll have to deal with when these kids turn into teenagers, and teenagers are not easy to handle. And then she's clearly put herself in this role of the mom. This seems like such a recipe for disaster in the future. And I remember the Reddit story of this woman who was the step parent, and she raised these kids, and then I don't know if you remember, it was really viral on TikTok, where she unfortunately had a miscarriage, and the kids were so mean to her. They were like, oh, we're so glad that that happened. And then I think the son was like, oh, what were you expecting, or diabolical things. And the husband did nothing. And then she realized oh my god, I'm not appreciating this household. I make food and then they don't want to eat it. And then the son, the stepson, did apologize. And then when she was I don't want this. I've spent 15 years of my life and they don't even treat me nice. I'm asking for divorce. And then the kids were like, oh my god, no. But she did go through with the divorce. But imagine, she probably never thought that happening. And that is a thing that happened, because again, these kids aren't yours biologically. And I don't mean that this is a situation that is contained to this. I'm not talking about adopted kids or nothing like that. I'm just talking situations where you are a step parent and the other parent is very much still, you know, in the life or there. There is gonna always be like that, you know. I don't know, man. When I saw this video, this on my TikTok, and she's done multiple videos. Obviously people are like tearing into her and whatever, and being like, girl, you're unhinged, why are you calling her bio mom? And I think there is legitimate criticism, or legitimate, not criticism, maybe legitimate like warnings. I think some other people are being a little much, but mine is more towards him, the other parent, because like she is just a woman who is in love and just not he's the one who should be putting boundaries, who should be being like, hey, I'm glad that they're not showing the kids, and I'm glad that she's like, yeah, we made the decision not to show the kids, whatever. But the fact that he's like, because it's weird, because like, why would you put the kid, right? I feel like that's weird. Why would you put the ring like with the kids' names? She's known them for 2 months. And then why would you let her publicly, and I guess privately, because if she's saying it because he hasn't said anything, why would you let her refer to the mother of your children as a bio mom? Again, so weird, so strange. Anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about. Please give me your opinion. I really want to know other people's opinions. No one in my life cares about this. And also, I would have to explain the Lord people, and then people would be like, oh, no. So, yeah, if you watch this, please tell me what you think. Please tell me, because sometimes I think maybe I'm too, like, blinded about it. Because, again, I think he's a villain. But, what would you do if you were in this situation? Because, like, I would... No. Anyways.